So let's look at this set. This is the second set of the paper, and the question says the Humanities Department of College is planning. The Humanities Department of a college is planning to organize 8 seminars, one for each of 8 doctoral students. So this is a reasoning question. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. 4 of them are from economics. So one of the things that you always do in a reasoning set is you take down the global list of information. So you always make the global list. So there are 8 students, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. The Humanities Department of College is planning to organize 8 seminars, one for each of the 8 doctoral students, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. 4 of them are from economics, 3 from sociology. So I'll use small letters here. I'm starting a course which is called the Personal Mastery Program. That's also something I'm doing. We are starting the first batch in December. So that's for everybody. It's not just for CAT aspirants. It's for people who are into corporate sector, who are starting to work also. So maybe next 5 to 10 years, I can definitely guide you with such courses. So wo aa raha hai abhi uspe on the app. We'll be starting that personal mastery program. So that's a program that is exclusively done by me. So that's something. So that's one thing that I've this thing. I actually want to use my training and teaching skills to go both beyond the CAD space into the professional situation, professional courses timeline, as well as into people who are earlier in the cycle. School and early college के लिए भी कुछ हम लोग करने वाले हैं अभी उस पे. So 4 economics, 3 sociology. इसको मैं small letters में इसलिए लिख रहा हूँ because I don't want to get confused between the E of this and the E of that. And 1 anthropology. So this is the subjects of the students, and each student is guided by one amongst PQRST. So the 8 students are guided by 5 guides. So obviously some guides will be guiding more than one student. And the next statement tells us that. Thanks a lot, Ishan and SG. 2 students are guided by each of PRT. So reaction to that is P को 2 student guide, P 2 student लोग guide कर रहा है, R 2 को कर रहा है, T 2 को कर रहा है. While one student is guided by each of Q and S. One student is guided by each of Q and S. So ये हो गया. Each student is guided by a guide belonging to their department. Okay. So that means there will be tutors who will be, at least 2 tutors who will be economics. Right. So how will you get four students who are in economics with this structure? Just think about this structure at this point. You want one guide for an anthropology student, and that guide should be guiding only one person. So it is either Q or S. 3 sociology students are being guided. So this will be exclusively guided by somebody who's got only one student who is guiding. The sociology students will be guided, one by somebody who's guiding 2 students and the other by somebody who's guiding 1 student. So the 1 student Q and S is going to basically get shared between anthropology and sociology. And the 4 economic students will definitely be guided by 2 and 2. So amongst PRT, and this deduction can happen at this point itself. You will realize one more thing, that a lot of times a question becomes difficult because you miss a twist, especially in reasoning and also in logical DI. It becomes difficult. There's a पिछला question logical DI था. It becomes difficult because you miss a twist inside the question. तो PRT में से 2 यहाँ जाएंगे और 1 यहाँ जाएगा. That's what you understand at this point. And one of the thumb rules of doing reasoning well is to make sure that at the point, I mean, you should slow down your first reading. That's very critical. It will improve your speed of solving because you eliminate the second reading completely. You don't make any misguided. You don't miss out a twist or a turn in your solving at all. And each student is guided by a guide belonging to the department. ठीक है, that's fine. आगे क्या बोल रहे हैं? Each seminar is to be scheduled in one of 4 consecutive 30-minute slots starting at 9, 9:30, 10 and 10:30. So 9 o'clock seminar है, 9:30 seminar है. Hi Satun, welcome. 9:30 seminar है, 10 o'clock seminar है and 10:30 seminar है. So these are four seminars, four timelines. So obviously 8 seminars and 4 timelines. So obviously there can be more than one at a time. And they say more than one seminars can be scheduled in a slot provided the guide is free. That means the guide will in one slot only does one seminar, and only 3 rooms are available, and hence at the most 3 seminars can be scheduled in a slot. So between 1 to 3 seminars in every slot, and students who are guided by the same guide must be scheduled in consecutive slots. So इसका क्या मतलब है कि अगर ये 2 स्टूडेंट हैं, पी के दोनों स्टूडेंट हैं, तो वो कंसेक्यूटिव स्लॉट्स में आने चाहिए. ठीक है. अनुज, आई वुड सॉल्व, अनुज अंजलि जो भी नाम है तुम्हारा, I would solve around, I mean, in a CAT 20 set, if I had taken the paper, I would have solved maybe 3 sets. 3 or 4. 3.5 तो हो जाता definitely. Because the first one would have taken me 10-12 minutes. The second one, let's see. ये भी 10 मिनट का ही सेट है वैसे. ठीक है. कभी कभी you make a mistake of twisting, turning around. See, the basic principles that I talk about. First reading has to be very, very effective. If I myself miss that principle in my solving, so I have seen that मेरा भी score घट जाता है. So it is not that I have immunity from making mistakes in the paper. I will also make mistakes, but the fact is that through your mental memories and your reactive memories, you tend to get better at first time usage. और फर्स्ट टाइम पिकिंग अप द क्लूज का फर्स्ट टाइम का दूसरा बड़ा एडवांटेज ये है कि जितना अच्छे से तुमको पूरा सेट फर्स्ट टाइम में समझ में आएगा, वो सेकंड टाइम उतना से अच्छे से समझ में नहीं आएगा. ओके अंजना, ओके ग्रेट, ठीक है. नाइदर अनुज नॉर अंजनी, ठीक है, और नॉर अंजलि, सो अंजना राइट. सो फर्स्ट टाइम जो तुमको सेट समझ में आएगा ना, वो क्वालिटी ऑफ रीडिंग तुम्हारा सेकंड रीडिंग हो ही नहीं सकता, बिकॉज सेकंड रीडिंग बहुत फ्रैगमेंटेड होता है. तो ऊपर नीचे जल्दी करने की कोशिश करते हो, 4-5 मिनट तुम्हारे निकल चुके होते हैं, राइट. सो मैंने भरा फॉर्म है मैरन, बट आई डोंट नो, आई टेक अ डिसीजन ऑन दैट डे. दो मेरा 4:30 से 6:30 का स्लॉट दिया उन्होंने, तो मेरे को 2 बजे के आसपास डिसाइड करूंगा कि जा रहा हूँ कि नहीं, राइट. सॉल्व करूंगा कि नहीं वो एग्जाम के अंदर डिसाइड करूंगा. आई माइट जस्ट गो एंड नॉट सॉल्व दिस ईयर. एनीवे, सो द फॉलोइंग एडिशनल फैक्ट्स आल्सो नोन. Seminars by students from economics are scheduled in each of the 4 slots. तो ये इनफैक्ट ये वाला जो क्लू है, ये अगर वो नहीं भी बताते तो हमको पता था, because from here I know that there are 2 seminars. I mean, the 4 students of economics have to be guided by 2 guides who guide for 2 subjects each, and one guide cannot go into twice in one slot, so they have to occupy the 4 slots. ये तो clear है, right? So the second this thing, हाँ, अगर मैं भरूंगा तो स्कोर तो पब्लिक करेंगे उन लोग. ACE is the only seminar that is scheduled at 10 a.m. A is guided by R. So A यहाँ पे एक further, मतलब this is a very direct clue कि 10 बजे और कोई सेमिनार नहीं है. That means 9, 9:30 और 10:30 बजे 7 सेमिनार है. There are 7 seminars. This thing, there are 7 seminars which are open at 9, 9:30 and 10:30. Yeah, I don't know about others. मैं मतलब last 2-3 साल से नहीं दिया हूँ. Once in a while I give nowadays. उतना फर्क नहीं पड़ता है योगांत. It does not affect too much, because you see most of the coaching directors, etc., professors, etc., are not able to score much more than 99 percentile. Or 99 percentile with there are at least 2-3,000 people. So 20-25-50 लोग से फर्क नहीं पड़ता उतना. So anyway, let's come back to this. 9, 9:30, 10, 10:30. 10 वाला ये fit हो गया. ACE is the only seminar that is scheduled at 10 a.m. A is guided by R. F is an anthropology student whose seminar is scheduled at 10:30 a.m. तो अभी यहाँ पे भी हम लोग डालना स्टार्ट करेंगे. A is guided by R. R का एक आदमी मिल गया तुमको, right? F is an anthropology student. F is an anthropology student whose seminar is scheduled at 10:30. So now you know 5 seminars का structure. One seminar at 9, one at 9:30. Both belong to economics. One at 10, which belongs to economics. Nothing else at 10. And you also know that 10:30 पे there are 2 seminars, one of economics and one of anthropology. So 3 seminars और तुमको भी place करने बचे हुए हैं इस picture में, ठीक है? And F is an anthropology student whose seminar is scheduled 10:30 on. तो यहाँ पे तुम्हारा जो global list बन रहा है ऊपर में A B C D F G H का, उसमें A is now placed time wise and F is also placed time wise, ठीक है? F का A का guide भी मिल गया तुमको, R, you've got A's guide. F's guide you don't know, it has to be amongst Q and S, ठीक है? So let's move on. Let's move on to the next one. Third, the fourth law. The seminar of a sociology student is scheduled at 9 a.m. So that means there's a sociology student seminar at 9 a.m. So 2 plus 1, 3 plus 1, 4 plus 2, 6. 6 seminars are hard structured now. And 2 seminars are open right now. Right? Now next one. B and G are scheduled, are both sociology students whose seminars are scheduled in the same slot. B and G, and a lot of people, this is a very tough set for a lot of people. Most people could not solve it, and I'll just show you, and you will see this. I often get this feedback कि सर आपने जब question दिखाया तो बहुत easy लगा, खुद से कर रहे थे तो बहुत tough लग रहा था. So just see the process. As I said, if I don't use the principles myself of what it takes to solve well, then I will also struggle in these questions. It is about principles. It's not about my solving. It's about adhering to the principles. If you use the principles that I'm showing you here, you will also start getting that kind of reactions, the kind of reactions that should take you all the way through CAT. So B and G are both socialized students whose seminars are scheduled in the same time slot. So B and G have to go in the same time slot. That's why I've drawn the box. The seminar of an economic student who is guided by T is also scheduled in the same slot. So there's a seminar of an economic student who's guided by T is also in the same. See, my guides are in circles here. So my structure will be very, very important. How you write things is very critical. Because क्या होता है ना, CAT type के reasoning questions में you have a lot of indirect clues. So the stories of indirect clues has to be very clear. अगर किसी ने इसको इस तरह से लिख दिया, B sociology, G sociology और T यहाँ पे लिख दिया इस तरह से, तो वो कंफ्यूजन क्रिएट करता है कि टी कौन था. वो उतना थोड़ी याद रहता है कि ABCD EFG और PQRST, बार बार तुम कंफ्यूज हो गए. So that's why you have to know. I mean, this slot creation is very critical inside this. So what this is telling me, if I look at this picture 2 years from today, also I know that this person's name I don't know, but I know the guide. Right? Now, then the next thing that happens at this point, is basically that when I look at this situation, what I realize is that ये 3 लोग का structure में कहाँ डाल सकता हूँ. So I cannot put it at 10:30 because 10:30 पे anthropology भी है और SS और economics तो ठीक है, this guy is there, but if I try to put 2S at 10:30, if I try to put 2S at 10:30, I'll have 4 people at 10:30, which is not allowed. We know that there's maximum between 1 to 3 seminars in every slot. This can go only to 9 or 9:30. The structure can go to only to 9 or 9:30. And if I look at my number of seminars, 6 seminars are in my picture on top. So if I put this to 9:30, 9:30 will have plus 2 seminars. So it will take it to 8. If I put this to 9, there are 3 seminars on 9, and 9:30 will have one more seminar then. तभी 8 बनेगा ये. So I'm in a two-way structure. Okay? This box can go at 9 or 9:30, right? तो इस पॉइंट पे छोड़ते हैं इसको. एंड अच्छा एक चीज और इसमें, ये बॉक्स अगर 9 और 9:30 पे जा रहा है तो टी जो है इकोनॉमिक्स गाइड, टी इज एन इकोनॉमिक्स गाइड, दैट मच आई नो नाउ. टी इज एन इकोनॉमिक्स गाइड and R is also an economics guide. So I know the two people who are economics guides at this point. T and R are economics guides, which means P must be a sociology guide. P is a sociology guide. Who's the other sociology guide between Q and S? वो पता नहीं चल रहा है. Who's the other anthropology guide between Q and S? We don't know. But we definitely know that P is a sociology guide and R and T are economics guides. Right? And if I have to put two R's and two T's, the only way to do that is that R has to come here and the two T's have to come here. Right? Because if I try to put an R here, the problem will be that the two students R should be in consecutive slots, and the two students T should also be in consecutive slots. So if I put R here, then T will come into these two slots, which is against the principles of the question. The question principles are telling me that T's two students have to be in consecutive slots, R's two students have to be in consecutive slots. So the moment I get that T is 9 or 9:30, I realize that 10:30 is R. The sociology, the economics guide for 10:30 is R. And you see this question is not more than 8 to 10 minutes, because क्या किया इसमें 6 clue use किया अभी तक हम लोग ने, right? Each clue is what? Even if you take 1 minute for every clue, this is 6 minutes at this point. And उतना भी टाइम लगेगा नहीं, हर clue 1 minute का थोड़ी है यहाँ पे. So let's say 30 seconds per clue. So 3 minutes till now on the 6 clues. And if I go back to ये part पढ़ने के लिए 2 minutes more. So it will roughly the 5-minute point. And that's why I keep telling you that you should slow down your reading and make sure that you're reading correctly. If you improve the quality of your reading, अभी भी तुम्हारा एक set आगे निकलने का chances है extra. And this last clue is the clincher. A and G are scheduled in consecutive slots. G यहाँ जा नहीं सकता है. So that means T, B and G. B sociology, G sociology, right? And अच्छा ये वाला 6th clue छूट गया मेरा. P, who's guiding both B and C, has students scheduled in the first 2 slots. So B sociology student है, तो C भी sociology student है, and P is guiding both B and C, and they are in this thing consecutive slot. So C यहाँ पे आ जाएगा फिर 6th clue से, and 7th clue tells me this thing. So now what I know is, and I know the guides of this guy is P, and the guide of this guy is also P. और मेरा बच क्या रहा है, मेरा अब मैं अगर ग्लोबल लिस्ट में जाऊं तो B प्लेस हो गया, C प्लेस हो गया, G का प्लेसमेंट हो गया, तो D, E and H are open between the 3 economic slots. So D, E, H are still open. I'm not able to place them. कौन कहाँ जा रहा है? And the other thing I'm not able to place, and whose guide is who, that I'm not able to place. And the other thing I'm not able to place is कि QS के बीच में who is taking G's, who's G's guide and who's F's guide. Who's the anthropology guide and who's the sociology guide between QS. That is something which is open right now. No, it is not imagination. It has to be questions at a certain point in the exam. They fork out. So when the fork happens, you should be able to understand how to handle the fork. So the first question, which of the following statements is true? 2 seminars are scheduled in the first slot. Definitely true. 3 seminars in the last slot, false. 3 seminars in the first slot, false. Only 1 seminar in the second slot, false. So option A correct है इसका. BNG 9:30 पे लास्ट क्लू से आया. A and G are scheduled in consecutive slots. A यहाँ पे 10 o'clock already scheduled है. So I cannot put B and G. This box I cannot put at 9 o'clock then. ठीक है. So first का ये हो गया. Second question, who all are not guiding any economic students? We know that R and T are guiding economic students. So who's not guiding economic students? PQS. Option C, 6 marks. Which of the following is necessarily true? 6 क्वेश्चन का था, 18 मार्क्स का ये, एंड 8 मिनट्स का टाइमलाइन है इसमें. 7-8 minutes में you are through with the basic structure, and maybe 2 minutes more for the questions. Necessarily true. Q is guiding G. Not necessary, because we can't make that out. B scheduled in the first slot. False. S is guiding F. S is guiding F. This is also not necessarily true, because we are not able to find out. H is an economic student. Yes. D, H are all economic students. This is necessarily true. So 9 marks हो गए. ठीक है. अब ये नेक्स्ट वाला देखो. Now this also gives the confidence when you see question 4. This is a pointer question which is telling you कि okay, मैं आगे information तुमको दे रहा हूँ, अब तुम slot करके बताओ. So this tells you that तुम्हारा जो solution है which is not complete because you could not find out everything कि कौन कहाँ placed है, is fine. Yeah, this is also what I call as a heartburn reducer. नहीं तो एग्जाम में टेंशन बहुत होता रहता है कि निकला नहीं, मैं कुछ मिस कर रहा हूँ क्या. तो ये तुम्हारा इंडिकेशन है कि सब कुछ मिलना नहीं वाला है इसमें. दिस काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन. सो इफ डी इज शेड्यूल्ड इन अ स्लॉट लेटर देन क्यूज, तो अगर ऐसा होगा तो क्या करना पड़ेगा. देखो क्यू जो है, क्यू इज अ गाइड. क्यू कैन गो टू आइदर जी और एफ. ठीक है. That means he can either be in the 9:30 slot or the 10:30 slot. And if D has to be scheduled in a slot later than Q's, I cannot put Q here. That's not possible. Right? So that means this part of the problem is telling me that Q is the guide for G and S is the guide for F. And what is telling me? D scheduled in a slot later than Q's. So D scheduled in a slot later than Q's means D will have to come here. Then which of the following two statements are true? E and H are guided by T. This will be necessary because only 2 blanks are left for the economic students and there are only 2 students left. So E and H are guided by T. Definitely true. And G is guided by Q. That's also definitely true. So both these are true. Both 1 and 2 becomes the answer. So this is your 12th mark. You already had 9 marks till now. Now you have 12 marks in this question. Then you go to the next one. If E and Q are both scheduled in the same slot. Now think about this. Again, this is a pointer question. E and Q both scheduled in the same slot. E and Q both scheduled in the same slot. ठीक है. Yeah, you have time, but you'll need to be very, very quick with respect to what you're going wrong with. E and Q are both scheduled in the same slot. Can I do it in this slot? Yes, it's possible. E as the student and Q as the guide. Possible. Can I do it in the first slot, in the 9:30 slot? Yes, possible. E as the student and Q as the guide to G. So if E and Q both are scheduled in the first slot, then which of the following best describes the relationship between D, H and T? तो D और H का relationship क्या होगा T के साथ? If I put E and Q in this slot, then D and H will have to take these 2 slots. So T will be the guide of D and H. If I put E and Q in this slot, then D and H, one of D and H will have to come here. and the other will go here because I've put E here. So that means that at least one of D and H is guided by T. In some conditions, both can be, but it's not necessarily, this is not the best description. So at least one of D and H is guided by T becomes the answer. So that's 15 marks here for you. Right? And the last one, if D is scheduled in the slot immediately before Qs. If D is scheduled in the slot immediately before Qs. D को Q के immediately before. Let me just clean back to the point. In the exam, you'll have to manage your writing so that यहाँ पे तो मैं delete कर सकता हूँ जो मैंने possibly डाला था. In the exam, you'll have to manage your writing so that you know that this was not a firm part of the solution that you had got. So what is this clue telling me? If D scheduled in the slot immediately before Qs. So for this to happen, the only way this can happen is Q has to be the guide here. And D has to be in the slot immediately before that. So the question is, then which of the following is not necessarily true? G is guided by Q, necessarily true हो जाएगा. E is guided by R, not necessarily true. D is guided by T, necessarily true. F is guided by S, Q और S का definition हो गया यहाँ पे, ये भी necessarily true है. So E guided by R is not necessarily true because E can come here also. So option B is the right answer in this case. So 6 marks, 6 questions, 18 marks. So on top of the first one, the first set was 12 marks, and you had to be able to solve that puzzles of A, B, C, D, E there. और यहाँ पे you had to solve the multiple possibility structure that at which they had left you. कुछ सीधे साधे वाले रीजनिंग क्वेश्चन जो होते हैं ना, वो एंड तक सब कुछ बता देते हैं कि सब ये यहाँ बैठ गया, वो वहाँ बैठ गया, पूरा सेट बन जाता है. यहाँ पे क्या कर रहे हैं कि मल्टीपल पॉसिबिलिटी छोड़ दे रहे हैं. दे आर नॉट गिविंग यू द लास्ट पार्ट ऑफ द सॉल्यूशन. सो दिस इज व्हाट 18 मार्क्स लुक्स लाइक. चलो एक और सेट कर लें.